Welcome to my YouTube channel, Vasta Creations. Today we're going to look at the chart for David Crosby. Uh, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, famous singer, songwriter. Um, if you look to the eastern horizon using sidereal Vedic zodiac, not Western, you would see the constellation associated with Pisces rising at 22 degrees. Any planets around 22 degrees like Mercury, Jupiter, um, Mars, have a lot of impact in this chart. First, we're going to look and see how the planets are operating and how it might have affected his success and health. And then we'll look and see what could be done to remedy, look and see how it affected different events in his life. And then lastly, what could be done to strengthen the chart. So first we'll look at Sun. Sun is any Multicona signs 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11 that are found in the challenging Dustana houses 6, 8, and 12. Though the planets ruling those signs become functional malefic. So Sun, Leo is in the 6th house ruled by Sun. So Sun becomes functional malefic. Then you have Libra in the 8th house ruled by Venus. That becomes functional malefic. And then you have the 11th sign of Aquarius in the 12th house ruled by Saturn. So we have Sun, Venus, Saturn, along with Rahu and Ketu that can cause some issues in this chart. So Sun is weak. Its landlord is weak. Can't be any stronger than its landlord, which is Moon. And Sun becomes the prime health indicator. It rules the house of health. And so he had several long-term chronic health issues, diabetes, hep C, heart attacks. Sun is the indicator for heart issues. Then we have infant state Moon. Moon is any planet that's more than 25 degrees, like Sun, or less than 5 degrees, like Moon, has trouble promoting or protecting its own significations. And it's also afflicted by Rahu, Moon is. So Moon is ruling the house of creativity and entertainment, and Moon itself is the public. So he was very much into public entertainment, singing, songwriting. And then we have weak old age Mars at 27 degrees. This is ruling the house of partnerships. So he did have issues in relationships and issues with partners, like the first band he joined, which the Byrds ended after a couple of years due to conflicts. Then we have weak dispositor Mercury. Mercury also, so Mars. Mars also is in the 1st house and ruling the house of wealth and fame and reputation and stability in the marriage. So all of those he had some issues with, but generally he was a very passionate person, and that came through in his singing and songwriting and really added to his success. And Mercury has a weak dispositor, which is also the Sun, and it gives some conflict in his speech and conflict in his part. It rules the house of partnerships. So again, with this conflict in relationships, and with the Byrds, one of his first bands. Then we have Jupiter is fairly strong, and it's ruling the career house, and it's placed in the house of performing arts. So I would say Jupiter definitely helped him expand his career and be successful. Then we have weak Venus in old age at 29 degrees, and it's ruling the house of chronic health problems, which he had several. He had drug addiction, alcohol addiction, diabetes, liver, abdomen issues. But Venus is also um, uh, giving him musical talent as well and ability to research and write songs. Then we have Saturn. Uh, it uh, is ruling the 12th house, as I said, and it gives him the ability to take on different roles and travel for work, and also probably uh, affected his alcohol addictions. Rahu and K2 are at 0 degrees, and they're balancing K2 in the first house, Rahu in the partnership house is balancing his needs with the needs of others around him, his partners. So let's look at the timing of events. So he joined the Birds in 64. It didn't last too long. A lot of his success came during a long Rahu period. So, and then he had his first album with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young in 1969, also in a Rahu period. Rahu, you know, having him gravitate towards these really successful partnerships. He was arrested, went to prison shortly in 83 during a Saturn period. Saturn rules the house of imprisonment as well as surgery. And then in 94, he had liver surgery. He had a liver transplant also during a Saturn period. And then surgery on his abdomen also during a Saturn period. I think there was a tear in his abdomen. Got a really terrible fever that ended up in the hospital in 98 and released one of his most successful albums called Looking Forward, also during a Saturn period. And then he got arrested again during a Venus period, Venus meaning confinement or death-like experience. 2020, May of 20, his son died of an overdose during a Venus period, death-like experiences, ruling that house of death-like experience. And then he passed away January 18th of 2023. And what we see there on the left is the transit chart at that time. The outer circle is the transiting planets. The inner circle is the birth, where the planets were when he was born. And so this very easy to see what was happening at the time of the date of death, transiting Venus, which was close to the rising sign degree, giving it a lot of impact, and its malefic is afflicting natal Sun. So Sun, so Venus, chronic health affecting his overall health, especially the heart. Sun is representative of the heart, and then also natal Sun, which is afflicting, or excuse me, transit Sun afflicting natal Saturn. Saturn, the indicator for longevity, and Venus also in this case. And then Saturn is also end of life. So a lot going on there. May he rest in peace. Condolences to his family. Thank you so much for listening. What we could do to strengthen the chart would be a lot of charity work, and I think he was involved in quite a bit of that to transform Sun, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu, because we don't want to strengthen them, we want to transform them. And the rest of the planets could be strengthened, Moon, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, with my favorite remedy, which is a kavash, a silver locket containing the Devata yantras for those planets. Thanks so much for listening.